I've talked about Josh before. I've always been a fan of his. He's a good age. He's technically really good. Even just simple things like his passing and his weight of pass are really good. Yes, of course, we know that depending on what role you want him to play, he's been criticised in the past for defence tracking back and all that sort of thing. But he is a proven goal scorer at this level. And I didn't realise it was over a year since he'd scored his last league goal. I mean, that beggars belief that, as you say, for a team, last season, as an example, he didn't play that much. And one of the reasons for that was because you had Rob Apter on the right and you had Kieran Morris on the left, who I think Morris had his best scoring season for his last season. I think he got into double figures just about, or thereabouts. So last season, you could understand that Josh at times wasn't going to be playing. But this season, we've been starved of goals, absolutely starved. And how I remember thinking, Adkins, he's cutting off his nose to spite his face here. We've got a proven goal scorer. We all know what a good finisher he is. Not often, at times, not even on the bench. And I feel for the lad. Because I've seen his post-match interview. He just wants to play football, and it just beggars belief. And it's interesting that Crosby trusts him in this right wing, in this wing back role, because Nigel never trusted him to do the dirty work, do the tracking back. That if you're going to be wing back, you got to do. Whereas today he wasn't wing back. We had Norman there, which gave, we had Hawks behind Dennis. Depending on what, you could look at the formation in different ways. At one point, I thought it was sort of a 5-2-2-1 or a 4-3-5-2-1, whatever you want to call it. But he's just a class act. I mean, even the finish, it was on his weaker foot. But yeah, to have someone like him in the team, and Patrick, both wing backs, both of those scoring today, is as you say, look, the previous manager, a lot of question marks around him, both of not just not playing people like Hawks, but not getting the best of players like Finlay. Finlay was excellent again. Lots of question marks about that, but all we can do now is move on. I think we've got about 10 games left, a 10-game season, and Josh Hawks, if we can keep him fit, he will score goals. It's inevitable, and we need goals to win games.
Here's a stat for you, Dave. As of today, Josh Hawks has played more minutes of league football under Andy Crosby this season than he has under Nigel Adkins. He has played 226 minutes of league football under Crosby compared to 208 under Nigel Adkins. I mean, it beggars belief, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he got people need. I think, was it 2 years ago? Maybe he got Player of the Year, I think, and he was top scorer. And I know he was injured. I think he had an injury at the start of the season, but Nigel just, for whatever reason, froze him out. Even when we were struggling and losing all these games and never scoring, and the entertainment value is awful. It's just absolute. And it's funny, the decision to bring Crosby in. I, like a lot of people, wasn't sure about that. Adkins' assistants, how different would it be? And it's clearly, you can imagine conversations were going on before Adkins went with Crosby, saying to him, look, Josh Hawks, should we be having him more involved? You would think so. He obviously rates Hawks because he's brought him in straight away. And you can only assume that Adkins was, no, I'm not having him, which is bizarre. And hopefully, I like you, I think if a fit Josh Hawks gets into double figures quite easily, and I know there were rumours in January that he was close to leaving. I think he was linked with Gateshead. I know that, and I think Mickey might have been sniffing around to bring him to Oldham. But he's easily, if you can get a fit Josh Hawks playing regularly, he's a League Two player and possibly even higher above. Because I say technically he's excellent. So yeah, just thank God that hopefully it's not too late that we are playing. We're a team that needs goals, and we are playing players that score goals. Hopefully it's not too late.